You've seen the headlines. Wake up at 5 a.m. like Elon Musk. Steve Jobs wore the same thing every day. Jeff Bezos starts his day with quiet time. It feels like every billionaire has some secret morning formula we're all supposed to copy. So I got curious. What would actually happen if I stopped snoozing, scrolling, and winging my mornings, and instead followed their routines exactly? Would I be more productive? More focused? Would I hate my life? I decided to find out. For one full week, I stacked together the most common billionaire morning habits. I followed them all, and let me tell you, some of them worked better than I imagined. Others, not so much. But by the end, one thing was crystal clear. This routine didn't just change my mornings, it changed how I see myself. So if you've ever wondered if these high-performance mornings actually do anything, keep watching. The routine started with the most brutal rule of all. Wake up at 4:30 a.m. every single day. No exceptions. I won't lie. This was the hardest part. Day one felt like jet lag and heartbreak rolled into one. My body wanted to riot. But here's what happened by day 3. I noticed something strange. The world was silent. No email, no pings, no noise. It was just me and space to think. There's a weird power in being awake while the world sleeps. It felt like I'd stolen time from the universe, like I had a head start on everyone else. And mentally, it made me feel unstoppable. Not because I was more productive, but because I was in control. I chose discomfort, and that rewired something inside me. Every billionaire list I found said the same thing. No phone for the first hour. At first, I rolled my eyes, but once I tried it, it was shocking how often I instinctively reached for my phone. I felt twitchy, like something was missing. But instead of scrolling through notifications, I grabbed a pen and started journaling. And suddenly, my mind slowed down. I wasn't reacting to news or opinions or social media. I was creating space to decide what I actually cared about that day. This one habit shifted my entire mindset. I realized how much control I had been giving away to algorithms, headlines, dopamine hits. When you start your day by thinking for yourself, not reacting to someone else's agenda, you feel powerful. You feel awake. For real. Next came the cold showers. I'll be honest, these felt like medieval torture at first. Every part of my body screamed no, but that's the point. Taking a cold shower is like doing mental push-ups. It forces you to override your comfort-seeking brain, and once you do, everything else that day feels easier. The shock of cold resets you. You breathe deeply, you feel alive, and you prove to yourself that you are the one in charge, not your excuses. And the weirdest part? After 3 days, I started looking forward to it. Not the cold, but the feeling afterward. The clarity, the alertness, the quiet pride of winning that first mental battle of the day. After the cold shower, I sat in silence for 10 minutes. No music, no podcast, just stillness. And let me tell you, this was surprisingly hard. My brain wanted noise, stimulation, distraction, anything, but I stayed still. And in that stillness, I realized just how chaotic my internal world really was. Thoughts bounced around like pinballs, regrets, to-dos, random worries. But after a few days, the noise softened. Stillness didn't empty my mind, but it gave me space to hear what was already in it. And that changed everything. It helped me realize what actually mattered and what I could let go of. It wasn't about meditation. It was about mental decluttering, and it worked. Next up, the power list. This is something a lot of billionaires do without calling it that. They don't write 20 things to do each day, just three outcomes that make the day a win. At first, it felt lazy. I'm used to juggling way more. But the truth is, most people confuse being busy with being effective. Choosing just 3 key tasks forced me to focus like a laser. It cut through the noise and made me ruthless about what actually moved the needle. And by the end of the day, I didn't feel drained. I felt accomplished. Because I didn't just work, I finished. And that feeling of completion, it's addicting. Before breakfast, or rather, before not having breakfast, I moved my body. Not a full workout, just 15 to 20 minutes of bodyweight exercises and a walk outside. No phone, just breath and motion. It sounds small, but it flipped a switch in my brain. I stopped feeling sleepy. My energy picked up naturally, and mentally, I felt sharp. Movement in the morning isn't about burning calories. It's about signaling your brain, we're awake now, let's go. That physical momentum carried into my work hours. Less dragging, more doing. It felt like my brain was operating on a clean OS instead of lagging on 47 background tabs. One surprising part of this routine? No breakfast, at least not until noon. At first, this sounded like self-punishment. I imagined low energy, brain fog, maybe even fainting. But the opposite happened. I felt more clear-headed, more alert, more focused. No food meant no digestion crash, no insulin roller coaster, just sustained clarity. I started drinking water, some black coffee, and riding that wave of clean energy through the morning. Turns out we don't need fuel every 2 hours. We need discipline and hydration, and this change made my mornings way more productive. Instead of opening TikTok or email, I opened a book. Every billionaire reads. Some say 30 minutes a day minimum. So I tried 10 to 15 pages first thing in the morning. It felt old school, but it worked. I wasn't reacting to content. I was absorbing wisdom. I started the day learning instead of comparing. Over the week, I read more than I had in the last month, and the ripple effects were real. I quoted stuff in conversations. I solved problems faster. My brain felt sharper. Reading in the morning feels like planting seeds. You might not see the fruit right away, but later in the day, the insights show up when you need them. I started this experiment to see if I could be more productive, but what I got was something bigger. I was calmer, more intentional. I stopped snapping at people. I started listening more. My days had structure, and that structure gave me peace. I didn't feel overwhelmed. I felt aligned. The routine didn't just improve my mornings, it improved me. And maybe that's the real secret. Billionaires don't win because they're smarter. They win because their systems support the best version of themselves every single day. After 7 days of this, here's the truth. I'm not waking up at 4:30 a.m. forever. I'm not doing cold showers every day either. But I will keep the no phone rule, the power list, the movement, the stillness, because those habits change the way I feel about my day and about myself. This isn't about copying billionaires. It's about learning from them, stealing the habits that work and leaving the rest. And if you can build even one of these into your mornings, you're not just improving your day, you're shifting your identity. So, would you try this routine? Or even just part of it? Drop a comment below and tell me which habit you're curious about, or which ones you already do. And if you want more honest experiments like this, where we test what actually works, hit subscribe. I've got more on the way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.